Hi, folks. Here's Voss here with a little station break. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. We'll resume here in a second. I'd like to invite you to come to my coaching, speaking, and training courses website. You can also see our new podcast over there at ChrisVossLeadershipInstitute.com. Over there, you can find all the different stuff that we do for speaking engagements if you'd like to hire me, training courses that we offer, and coaching for leadership, management, entrepreneurism, podcasting, corporate stuff. With over 35 years of experience in business and running companies as CEO, and be sure to check out ChrisVossLeadershipInstitute.com. Now back to the show.
Welcome to the big show.
The one thing I love about the book is you
thanks for being here,
play-by-play, minute-by-minute, or microsecond by microsecond. You talk about how you make decisions. 1,500
episodes now.
I feel like sometimes
just having the most
amazing guests, brilliant minds on the show. I feel like sometimes I'm in that fog of war that trying to make decisions and stuff. But you guys are making
we have an amazing gentleman on the show. He's
decisions
got a brilliant
hierarchy,
YouTube channel,
everything else
that
go into the Air Force
thing, and then
he's
you're
written
giving
his
his latest
play-by-play
book just
throughout
came
the
out
book,
May 23rd,
where you're not only
2023,
explaining what's going on in
The Art
Afghanistan
of Clear
and a
Thinking,
dogfight
a self-fighter
or some sort of
pilot's
operation that's going on,
for
and then you're
tough
translating that
decisions.
into a business.
Hasard Lee
joins
joins
us on the show.
we
Today's
can
going to be
go,
talking to us about
here's
his
how you
latest
can
book.
use this in
And what's
business.
great is
And
he's
I
translated
cooked
the brilliance of being a U.S. Air Force fighter pilot
couldn't put it down
into because I loved it. And of course, the minute by minute CEO as an entrepreneur, et cetera, et cetera. Tell us about some of that.
He's a U.S. Air Force fighter pilot who began
where
his
you have to
career
make
flying the
super quick
F-16
decisions
as a flight
flying
commander.
at super
He led his
speeds.
pilots into combat during one of the most
where you almost
intense
pass
periods
out
during the war in
and you're
Afghanistan.
moving at such a speed
there
that,
he flew over
you
80
can hit the ground
combat
pretty fast
missions
if you want to.
and became the
well,
only
thank you.
fighter
I mean,
pilot
that's
to
a
ever
great
fly two
compliment.
different
Reading the
types
whole
of
book in
jets
one
into
day.
combat
So
on the same day,
that's
while
amazing to
supporting
hear. I
troops
really
under
wanted
fire.
to write it
He was
in a
then
way that people
handpicked to
would
fly
be
the
engaged, because I think
F-35,
that's
the
how
most
we learn
advanced
as
and
humans, and that's
expensive
something that
weapons
I had a
system
chance
in history,
to be a part
which
of
was
when
still in
I
development
helped
at
develop
the
the
time.
F-35
And his
training
latest role in
syllabus.
active duty, he became
as
the chief
humans
of
learn
training
based on
systems for the
storytelling,
largest
not just
training
bullet
base
points.
in
I
the
think
world,
somebody was saying
being the development of new
all it took were
technology and
bullet
teaching
points, we'd all
methods to
have
train
six-packs and be
future
billionaires. So
fighter
you really
pilots.
have to learn
He speaks
through
and consults to
your own
organizations
experiences
and his
and
social media
stories.
accounts reach over
So that's the way I
200
framed
and
it.
90
I really
million
like
people
authors like
annually. I just
Malcolm
became one of
Gladwell
his
and
fans
Joel
on
Gwandi that have
YouTube
these
and some of the exciting
interwoven
stuff he does over there.
stories
Welcome to the show, Hazard. How are
that
you?
span multiple
I'm doing
subjects.
great. That's
So
a brilliant intro.
let's see.
Thanks for having me.
You're talking
Thank
about
you. It's an honor to have you. We've had many of the military gentlemen and folks on the show,
with
and
the
I've always been
F-16 and the
amazed
F-35, we can
at,
pull
and I shouldn't be,
upwards
because
of
there's a brilliance to
9 times the
our
force of
military
gravity.
and
So
how
right
we
now I'm
build
at
leaders
1G.
and
We're
how
about
we
200
archetype
pounds, 230 with my gear
our
on.
tiers.
If you've ever been in a roller coaster
it's
that
great
does
to have you on.
3G,
Thank you for your
that
service.
does a loop,
Give
pushes
us
your head down. That's about 3 Gs.
Find you on the
Formula
interwebs.
One cars about 5 Gs.
HasardLee.com.
We're pulling 9 Gs.
That's with an
So
S-H-A-S-A-R-D.
it's almost like your arms are made of lead. Each arm weighs about 250 pounds.
Just anywhere on social media,
just type in Hasard Lee,
Holy
and it's
crap.
pulling that blood
videos out there.
out of your brain.
There you go. Yeah,
the
videos are fun.
So after I fly, it looks like
I'm going to go down the wormhole of your YouTube
on my
and
arms,
just
because that's
like be watching endless videos, because there's something about fascinating about the
Sounds like Fridays for
me
me.
and the work that you guys do. So this is your first
the thing
book.
is,
What
though, I mean,
motivated you to write
that's
this
not too
book?
bad. So
You
it's
know
like
what?
a bruise
So I
goes
came
away
back
after
from
a couple of days,
Afghanistan,
and it was
pretty difficult,
pretty
pretty
intense
intense
period,
blood
like
out
you
of
talk
your brain.
about.
If you loosen up
there,
you'll
and
pass
so I was
out.
just kind of
And
writing down some notes.
if you pass out at the
I had a
speeds
few
we're
months,
flying,
I've been
you'll
selected to
impact
fly
the
the
ground in
F-35
about 20
so I had a
seconds.
few months
It takes
until
about
I
30
started
seconds
flying
to
it.
fully wake
So I
up
started
from
writing
what we
down
call a
some of those
G-induced
notes
loss of
just
consciousness.
more as a
And so over the last
kind of
30 years,
process
we've lost about
what,
one pilot.
it's just so intense. So we do a lot with the human performance aspect of combat, of staying in good physical shape. I never had any intention for anybody to read it.
There you go. And talk about some of the different decision-making aspects that you use. I'm a little bit foggy on them, but there are different things you talk about doing fast forecasting.
You know, it really resonated with people. There was a teacher in the crowd who wanted me to come
the decisions
speak
you need to
at
make
her school, and
in
so I started
way,
speaking at her school.
You know, there's one story in the book about how you're trying to decide if you should land at a base or you should go for a refill tanker.
Something that I can do. So I started a podcast.
You're dealing with fuel,
and I interviewed a bunch of different people on there,
down to the
special
last
forces soldiers,
fuel. I forget what
astronauts.
the term is, but
And
basically you got a small
people, really started wanting me to write a book.
You got to decide what you're going to do.
I had written some of those stories from Afghanistan, and so I kind of was able to massage it eventually into the book you see in front of you. I break down decisions. It was called the 6-year process. So assess over 200 days, execute, and it's been over 2 years, 500 days in a row, writing it, be able to take a single day off. But you're always having second and third order effects to every decision. So it's journey to be able to write that thing and to metaphor for that. So went through 9 iterations. If you're not able to assess really proud of how it turned out, you're never going to be able to consistently make good decisions.
There you go. You may get a little bit of your upbringing. What got you into the Air Force? What got the bug in you to want to fly?
Now, so I went to an air show when humans were really impatient, and organizations saw Thunderbirds fly. So I saw the Blue Angels fly. Progress when you're back in the days when you could people want to in a cockpit of a jet. I don't think you can really do that anymore, but some sort of solution. So spinning that assessment phase, blown away, breaking down the hundreds of really understanding. Just a 5-year-old kid. That's true. Put a helmet on me. I look like a bobblehead with that thing on. Or if you have a couple years, what I wanted to do. And as fighter pilots, there's not a lot of outlets for that when you're a kid. If you want to be, when we're flying, we NFL extreme closure rates, so you have to make split-second decisions. For me, I just memorized all the facts about planning for wars that are years into the future. So Top Gun mission planning process is a lot like it really wasn't until I was a teenager that I had a chance to fly for the first time. I talk about power laws and being able to understand the few key variables. It's pretty much just a flying lawnmower as fighter pilots. So I was focusing living in Los Alamos, New Mexico at the time, outside effect, and power laws are a hot place right now with Roll, kind of the movie that just came out. Slightly familiar with power laws. One is like exponential growth, so people are familiar with that with compound interest. It's built into a mountain. Another is there's a runway there that's on the top of a. We're all experienced with that. After going to the gym for 6 months, you take off. Your right above the canyon. So I took off to start decreasing. And then long tail power laws. That's why after that, a few shows on Netflix do better than everything else by the turbulence out there. Pareto's 80-20 principle comes. So if you can identify, I wasn't great at sports. I wasn't great at single best tool for that. Do something that we've had for thousands of years. It really clicked. So if you can grab the data for the Air Force Academy, pretty got a letter back from them. I should have known to one of these power better because I just got the letter focus on packet for optimizing. I was really excited. Went down to my room, opened it. Next after assessment phase is choosing. We don't have solutions for you. Good luck with your endeavors. As fighter pilots, we have tactics that are like NFL playbooks. So we have thousands of tactics that we can choose. But sometimes we're developing these custom tactics. I talk about a story and just in the book about right behind effects-based planning of really separating. And so the effect I thought the dream was over there. And a few weeks later, I got another letter saying that I had been right on the edge of getting accepted. Warfare. It's been to this other school called New Mexico Military Institute. Enemy sends up planes, you send up planes. In a more enemy sends out tanks, you send out tanks, where everybody goes to and that's more of an attrition mindset. So I spent a year there, met one of the best instructors, and early 90s, culminating with Desert Storm. Actually got a chance to get military transition to effects-based before I went to the Air Force Academy. Figure out from there what is the effect you're trying to drive. Got selected for pilot training, taking out the energy grid or taking out the leadership.
Did you meet any aliens?
Doing everything to never seen any aliens, but I have seen a lot of. That's where you see a lot of the shock and awe campaigns that have been
in real life,
pretty much in every war. Yeah, I mean they're unidentified flying objects. Another thing with choosing, it's kind of like when you're driving cross country, you'll see glints of light and weird things out in the distance. So the expected value. We see that when we're flying, we're just really busy focused on the mission. And so you see all kinds of random things, as we're seeing now with all the weather balloons and things like that that are in the news. So decision making is really just I don't know about any aliens to that. If you can solve that equation,
well, let us know if you see any
consistently
aliens
make good decisions.
That'd be good.
Now the problem is finding those probabilities.
What's the percentage?
How much
you enter this gauntlet to become an Air Force pilot.
A lot of people.
What is the percentage of you going from the start, or anyone who enters the system, to going from wanting to be this? You have to sign up for, I think, what is it, 5 years before you even know if you're going to be a pilot with the Air Force. What's the percentage of people that actually get through the gauntlet? Get a little averse to owning decisions. You're always they like to outsource it, have somebody else make those decisions. So I think really in the book, 10 people make it into the Air Force Academy. People need to come up from the Air Force Academy. A lot of people are on pilot qualified, so they have like heart murmur. Hold yourselves accountable, or because then you can allergies, those outside tools, and they aren't physically qualified to fly. So about half of people aren't seeing what your assessment is versus them. So unfortunately, if you are wrong, was able to fly. And then understand how to get better there in the future. So finding that expected value and rupture my eardrum the day before, just guesstimating my this big flight physical, because they know they have you. So and then lastly, being able to flight physical, being able to go out there and execute on the decision. You have to sign up for difficult. We have a saying you don't rise to the level. So I knew I was stuck expectation, and you fall to the level of your preparation. So we go out physical, do a lot of
had to go through a bunch of waivers. We do a lot of debriefing, and that's a whole discussion we can have if you want. But really being able to boil everything down what's called the lessons learned to flight, the principles for how to get better. And so you're just flying like little Cessnas. They're really diving.
My understanding is we've got another Air Force
about 20% of people wash out there.
Interviewed
you
this
make
in
it
the
to pilot
can.
training.
Comes out next month.
And you start
guys
off
do
with
a lot
about
in your
30 people in your class.
to
And I
really
remember
focus on
the first day
and
they
take
had a
apart
pep talk by the base commander. He came in. He said,
good
"I
or
want
what
you
went wrong on a
to
mission, right?
all close your eyes." Correct. Yeah.
Now,
when we fly,
how many of you
we'll
want to
go
fly
out and
fighter?
fly
Raise your
for,
hand.
of course,
Generally
about
an
an hour and a
up.
half in a training
Said,
environment. That's all
your
the fuel
eyes.
we have.
And
I
I
opened
opened
my
my
eyes.
eyes.
All 30 people
In combat,
it can be. He said it can be 5.
2 of you will probably
get
get
10
hours.
hours. The rest of you
sometimes even longer.
will be
So,
lucky if you fly
training,
heavies,
going out,
flying just for a little bit. We come back and we'll spend 2 to 6 hours debriefing aircraft, other types of and so we're going through everything that we did wrong.
And he said, "Good luck."
Sometimes we'll listen to the same radio call 10 times just to figure out how we. And after that, it was game on the next time. And you want to be helpful. We'll do that for our individual debriefs when it's just 2 of us going out. And we'll do it when helpful. I think the biggest misconception of air combat only a few people are going to get just this 1v1 cage match. I think out of 30 people, you're just sending out 4 F-18s and they're going to take on the world. But amazing, it's really one of my favorites. It's like a P-100 aircraft going out all at the same time, but a really complex. So all the aircraft are different and have different capabilities. So it's what we call multi-domain. 3 people washed out there on the ground. You have assets in the ocean. 7 people got selected to fly the T-38. So those are the people. And you also have potential fighter tracks. The rest helping you. So it's this big T1, which is kind of like a business 3-dimensional puzzle that you're trying to solve. So of those 7, now you're flying. We'll have exercises like what we call red flag, supersonic trainer, everybody together, even international partners, flying lawn dart. And we will really fly the sorties. Actually, one of the toughest. Come back if we're doing still that I've ever flown. Night bowl, so we'll usually do 2. Only I think 2 flights during the day selected to fly the F-16, but you're not done yet. And then the night bowl will come back at about midnight. Other school called Introduction to Flight Fundamentals debriefing facilities until about 7 or 8 to fly the F-16, my number 1 choice, because there's no windows. And you still have to go to these other facilities. 20% of people spent that entire time. So I mean, debriefing, it's pretty crushing to see people that have made it all the way up to that point. And the thing about the debrief fail out at that kind of last check, not stable. And you also have to go to the centrifuge where they have spin you around. They don't really fast, and you get blamed for things naturally. So there really is fighter few guys that end up washing out there and having to go fly being able to call ourselves. So then you finally make it to you need a strong leader F-16 school to say what they did wrong, and then everybody else will even then start to follow. But it just takes one person at least back shirking blame. So I mean, everybody starts by the end of this and doing that. So we have a couple of best practices where did everybody go. So we maintain was lucky nameless, rankless debrief.
Yeah, well, congratulations. I mean, it's quite the gauntlet. I mean, you really have to be the ultimate individual. They rejected me because I was fat and ugly, but that's
been flying for 30 years.
I don't think I've seen that happen.
They were true.
The wing commander,
but I didn't have those good looks.
Environment,
to
sterile.
make that Top
Nobody's
Gun sort of
trying to.
I think you got to be really hot
to
be
insult
an Air Force
people's
pilot.
character. It's just how can we get better? That's the goal.
So let me ask you this: what is the juice for you in flying for the Air Force, flying these type of planes? What is the juice? What do you get off on? What is the
walk
thing
around
you
with
go,
a small black notebook? I think a bunch of different things. What I did wrong, and then whenever I fly a similar sortie, was my dream. So I'll read the first time I lit the afterburner. I don't make a mistake.
There you go. That's so important.
Smile on my face. I knew I had accomplished this 20-year goal, and you just feel the thrust in your chest as you're accelerating down the runway. So
if you're someone who's a leader, or if you're an organization and you're
normal life,
creating blind spots or scotomas, as we like to call them, where you're just like, well, that was a big deal. We'll just put that behind us. You don't learn from it.
It's just kind of a mind-bending experience
going along and with your blinders on.
So part of it is being able to do that. Part of it
for you guys, it was life
getting a
and death
chance to
because
serve my country
in that
and
sort of scenario and field of battle.
In Afghanistan, we were doing a lot of close air support, so supporting the troops on the ground.
The same is true for business.
We were there during a pivotal time when ISIS was starting to take hold.
One thing that enthralled me
special
about
forces
the book,
soldiers out there,
I love
Army
strategy.
Rangers,
When I was young, I
Green
used to play a lot
Beret,
of strategy
and
some
some other
chess.
forces. They were doing a lot of high-risk clearing operations. They would get into firefights, and you would be able to have a significant effect on that firefight. It would be just 2 of us.
One thing that you got talked about in your book was just that calm, what I perceived as calm was being able to make so many decisions
eliminate the threat,
and the balancing and weighing of so many different things. So we had Fred Hayes
It's a mix of things. Now I get to instruct
on the show, and he talked
future
about his
pilots,
book and his line that I really
there's
love.
definitely an
Never
enjoyment to being able to
early.
pass along the
and I
lessons
think, as you
that I've
mentioned
learned
before,
to
having
them,
that training and that
hopefully they'll be able to
in the
to
book,
go out there
like,
and
that's
use
what
those
just
skills
kept me gripped, is
to protect the country
you're going
and
through your
to
whole
preserve
decision
our way of life.
process
So
of like, how much
I think
fuel am I
there's a
take?
whole
What
range
can we do?
of reasons why I do it.
We have are people being attacked? How can we retaliate? What's this is going on, that's going on, and then of course you're flying, I don't know, a multi-billion-dollar war machine that you just can't just eject. Then there's danger if you eject too in certain situations, and so the whole thing was enthralling. And of course you're going through this chess game in your head in like milliseconds, and I think I just fell in love with it. I was just like, holy shit, this is like it was just great juice to read.
Well, I really appreciate that. And yeah, staying calm under pressure is one of the most important things, to be able to think clearly. And that's why the book is titled The Art of Clear Thinking, because that's the ultimate compliment, professional compliment that you can give somebody, that they are a clear thinker, not necessarily smart. Like, we all know people that have a lot of information just kind of rolling around in their brain, but they're not necessarily, clear thinkers making good decisions. And so that's my job as a fighter pilot, when you boil everything down, is to be a good decision maker. And a big aspect of that is staying calm under pressure. We have another saying that you lose 20 IQ points as soon as you put on your helmet. And that's because what looks easy right now at 1G, we're not moving at all, gets really difficult when you're in the heat of the moment, and it's physically hot. Like if you're in the desert, it's like 120 degrees as soon as you open up the cockpit, and the cooling all goes to the radar, not you. So you're drenched in sweat, and you lose about 5 to 10 pounds every sortie. But more on point, the heat of the moment, when things are busy, when people are counting on you, when you show up to those firefights, you need to be able to detach and to have a wide vision. So I'm talking about physically pushing out your vision, because as the stress starts to increase, we start making mistakes, our vision starts to shrink. So you want to really push that vision out. We have, the most important thing is preparation, but we do have some other tools to help us: breathing exercises, box breathing, 5 seconds in, hold 5 seconds, 5 seconds out, hold 5 seconds, activating the parasympathetic nervous system, things like that. Those are, the cherry on top that can help your performance by maybe 5-10%. Number one thing is going to be preparation, but there are things you can do to help you detach and to be able to have that wide vision, that understanding of what's going on below you.
There you go. And you talk about the mental toughness in the book too. Let's touch on that before we go out.
Yeah, mental toughness is important. So that's something that the Air Force has really pushed the last 5 years, is being able to stay in the present moment, visualization, self-talk, all those kind of squishy things. And of course, like I said, it comes down to preparation. You can't, just shortcut that. So as long as you have the preparation down, now we're talking about small gains, 2%, 5% gains, which is still important. We'll spend all that time debriefing just to get 1% better. So I think the self-talk, being able to coach yourself, being able to maintain your confidence is important. And that's kind of my job as an instructor. We get some really talented pilots here, but a lot of times they'll choke. So they'll be flying, they'll make a mistake with something stupid that they know how to do better, and they'll start thinking about that, and it'll spiral. And so they'll make another mistake, and the speeds we're flying, within a couple of seconds, what went from a good sortie will all of a sudden become dangerous. And so, it's part of my job to be able to help them, coach them through that, and to stay in the present moment. Don't worry about mistakes you're making right now. There's a set aside time to debrief. So that's another plug for the debrief, to have a scheduled time for it. And if you don't have it scheduled, you probably won't do it. And if it's scheduled for 30 minutes, it'll probably be 5 minutes. So at least have like a 30-minute chunk of time scheduled after every important project, or any project, but at least do the important ones. So you can say, when you make a mistake, I'll worry about that later. I don't need to worry about it now. That allows you to use your full mental bandwidth to get yourself out of the problem that you're in now. So there's a lot of little tools and tricks like that.
There you go. And I loved them. And they translate so well into business because, you can be in business and maybe you can have a PR crisis and suddenly, the whole world, some videos gone viral and the whole world is after your company. And as a CEO, you've got to step up and decide how to deal with it. And you sometimes get lost in that fog of war or whatever. And like you mentioned, once you start, if you make a mistake, it can start compounding. But I love these self-accountability principles too, because sitting down, so many companies will get into blame games. I've seen companies that have reached a point where they're just doing emails and keeping documentation about how it wasn't my fault in case that comes up. And you just end up with these blame game corporations. And so it translates really well into business and how things do. The one thing I've always been amazed at, I mean, we've had great instructors from West Point on the show, and military from across the thing. I'm always so amazed at how great our military is at building leadership structure, teaching leaders. You see the failure of leadership in the Ukraine and Russia war and how their tiers of leadership work in their military in Russia. And you see the difference it makes in the battlefield. And so I think more people need to realize that people in our military have really been trained for leadership, and they're used to working with very expensive equipment too and taking care of it. And people should really they should be really moved into more management position, leadership positions in my mind, I think.
Well, you're tested a lot. So you go out there in combat and in training, and you get a chance to test yourself and test your theories, and they don't always work. And so you have to go back to the drawing board and refine it. I think one aspect of this book is decision-making is universal. We all, we're all reliant in how successful we are dependent on the decisions that we make. And I don't know about you, but I was never taught a decision-making framework until I joined the Air Force and became a fighter pilot. And I think there's a lot of similarities in what I do with what people are doing in the business world, in that when I'm flying, I'm in charge of this piece of equipment. And, we really call it, we're strapping the jet on our back, because you really become one with the F-16 or the F-35. It feels like you're in this floating seat and you can go wherever you want. And it allows me to I can fly 100 times faster than I could run. I can carry 100 times more. I can see out to the horizon. I can be thousands of times more capable than I could be just on my own. And I think we're all experiencing that. So the phone you have in your pocket, the computer you have, your car you have, it all allows you to be able to have more leverage to the decisions you're making. One example in the book is the average human only burns 90 watts of electricity, and yet we consume 12,000 watts. That energy goes to the technology that's leveraging the decisions we're making. So there's never been a time in history where decisions are more impactful and important than now, especially with the rise of AI. So there are reports out of Silicon Valley now that the next billion-dollar company will be run by 3 or fewer people, which is crazy. Wow. I mean, just 100 years ago, that would have required 100,000 people. A few years ago, would require thousands. Now, 3 people will be in charge of a billion-dollar company. Each of those founders' decisions will be extremely highly leveraged by AI. So I think there's a lot of similarities out there.
Yeah, craziness. We just had an earlier interview on the show today of someone that they're in the medical field that they've been in for a while. They created an AI system where it's going to hopefully shorten the time that it takes to develop drugs to help people with, whatever their ailments are, prescription drugs, and maybe make things cheaper. So some real life applications there. So I know we had to reschedule because you're a new father for a second time. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How well does the lessons from the Air Force, the book, and everything you talk about, clear thinking, handle with losing sleep and toddlers and juggling the things of fatherhood?
So this is number 2. So it's not nearly as life-changing as the first one. But you know what? I think a lot of the principles apply. So you're trying to make decisions. Actually, the book really was popular on Father's Day. And if you think about it, you're kind of in the fog of war right there. You're making tough decisions. There's people's lives on the line. So it's, just making good decisions, being able to take care of yourself, being able to take care of others. I think it's all kind of in the theme of the book. So, it's been great. Having kids is amazing. They're, definitely, it's amazing what they can get into, and it's amazing what they can teach you as well.
It's probably like flying at 9G sometimes.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're pushed to the limit.
There you go. Well, congratulations on the success of the new book. I loved it. I highly recommend it. Everybody, give us any final thoughts you want as we go out, sir.
No, this is great. Really appreciate what you're doing. And take care. Stay safe.
There you go. Thanks for tuning in to my audience. Order up the book wherever fine books are sold. And thanks, Hasard, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
There you go. The Art of Clear Thinking, a Stealth Fighter Pilot's Timeless Rules for Making Tough Decisions, available March 23rd, 2023. I love this book. I ate it up. Like I said, I think I listened like 3 or 4 hours at the gym when I was at the gym, and I just burned through the book, but it kept me on the edge of my seat like a lot of the times, and of course the lessons I learned. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time. And that should have us out.